Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for attending the meeting this afternoon for open enrollment. This is the information session for Aetna Dental. And we have Miss Vera Allen from Aetna Dental, and she will be facilitating our PowerPoint presentation this evening.
Hello.
And I'm just going to let everyone know, we just a couple ground rules. We ask that everyone stay on mute during the presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. And we will have plenty of time after Ms. Vera's presentation to answer any questions you may have around the Aetna Dental plan. We ask that all the questions be related to the Aetna Dental benefit if all possible tonight, and no personal questions. If you have any issues about the dental plan or questions about your own dental work, please don't answer them or ask them during this session. This is just for information regarding the benefit. And we can give you some resources to reach out to Aetna if you have questions regarding some specific work around the dental benefit. All right, so with that said, we will go ahead and move forward. I'm going to share my screen and Miss Vera is going to present. We are going to go off camera, so feel free to go off camera and stay on mute, and then we'll have some time for questions at the end.
Whenever you're ready, you can bring the presentation.
All right. Give me 1 second here.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So again, welcome everyone. I am Vera Allen. I am the Aetna account manager for your dental benefits. I'm one half of the team. The other half of the team is my partner, Carlton Ingram. Some of you may not have heard of him, but there are two of us servicing your account for your dental benefits. All right. And thanks again for joining. Next slide. So first thing to note that there are no changes to the benefits this year. So good thing, everything is remaining the same. And so this will pretty much be a high level overview. Of course, if you have questions, please feel free to stop me along the way. But it's going to be pretty high level, and the plan is pretty easy to use. So we're going to talk about some of the highlights of the plan and some of the tools that we at Aetna offer when you become an Aetna member, and also some additional benefits that come along with your plan as well. Next slide. Okay, so Prince George's County Public Schools has chosen for the members the dental PPO plan. The PPO plan is very robust in its benefits, in that one of the benefits of the plan is that you have both in and out of network benefits. So I always like to use myself when I'm talking about this plan, because I know if you're like me, once you find a dentist that you love, you want to stay with them, right? So I use myself as an example. I started working for Aetna in Ohio. I have a dentist there that I absolutely love, right? Because I travel to Ohio maybe 3 to 4 times out of the year, I choose to stay with that dentist because I don't have anything major going on. He is out of network, but because I have a PPO plan and I have developed a relationship with him, I keep that same dentist. Some people say it's crazy, but that's just me. I love him and I don't really want to find a new dentist at this point. And I bring that up to say he is out of network, but because I have a PPO plan, I can use him. So that's one of the advantages of having a PPO plan. I do not encourage you to go out of network because you want to keep your costs down at all times. So using in-network providers will be a better benefit for you. The PPO network, the PPO plan comes with a vast network of providers. So you don't need referrals or anything like that. And it's, we're across the country. So great, great plan. Next slide. Go back one. Yeah. So this slide is just a snapshot of some of the benefits of your plans, right? So one of the things to take note of, your annual maximum on this plan. This is a very generous plan, a very rich in benefits plan. You guys are so fortunate to have this plan. I, just from an industry standard, know that this plan is, is a great plan. Your annual maximum is $4,000 in network and $3,000 out of network. So it's pretty rich in what I call benefits. Your preventive services, like your annual checkup, annual exam, and your x-rays that come along with that, and cleanings, all of those things are covered at 100% in network and at 90% out of network. Your basic services, such as like a basic extraction, something of that nature, those are covered at 100% as well in network and 90% out of network. You do have a small deductible on the plan, and it's $50 for an individual if you're in network and $100 for the family, right? So let's just say if one or two of you meet the $100, then everyone on the plan will be considered as meeting the deductible for that year. And that's in network. If you go out of network, then your deductible is $100 for your individual and then $200 for the family. Your major services, such as root canals, things of that nature, implants, those are covered at 60% in network and 50% after deductible out of network. You do have coverage for orthodontia or braces, most people like to refer to. It's at 50% in network and 40% out of network. So, and you have a lifetime maximum of $3,000 for each plan. So once that $3,000 is exhausted for your orthodontia, that's it for the lifetime of the plan, right? So one thing I want to note, your maximums, you have an annual benefits maximum and you have a lifetime orthodontia maximum. Those maximums are separate and they're per person on the plan. So a lot of people always ask me, is that, maximum for everyone? Is it inclusive of everyone? No, that's an individual maximum for each person that's covered under your plan. So a lot of people like to know that. Also, the way your orthodontia orthodontia benefit is covered, it says 50%, right? But it's 50% up to the $3,000, right? So, if it's, let's say your overall cost is $4,000, we're going to pay 50% of that, right? That's $2,000. If it's $6,000, then we'll pay the 50%, which is going to be the $3,000. If it's $7,000, we're still only going to pay up to that $3,000. So a lot of people get a little confused. They may have $8,000 in costs and says, oh, but my plan says 50%. It's up to that $3,000. So that's a question that we get a lot. So I'll pause right here and see if there are any questions. Okay, then we can move to, yes?
No, Vera's Jamie. I was just going to say, I know there's no questions, but I'll just say that's a very generous benefit when it comes to orthodontia and the annual maximums, just because I've had experience with some other plans. And my experience has been with the orthodontia, literally it's 1,000 or 1,200 max lifetime. So it really is a generous benefit.
And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, please I understand what James is saying. I'm in the industry and I see these plans a lot, and I will tell you, this is a very generous plan. This is very rich in benefits. Great dental plan. And I'm not just saying that because I work for Aetna.
All right, I have a question.
Yes.
The annual deductible.
Mm-hmm.
So is this something that you pay the beginning of the year?
Okay, so yeah, you would pay that for certain services, right? So like your preventive services, they're covered at 100%. So there's no deductible there. If you go out of network, you would definitely have to pay deductible first and then whatever the coverage is at that point. Let's say if you having preventive services, you would pay your deductible first, and then whatever's left is paid at 90%. That's how that would work. If you are having, like, let's just go to your major services, they're covered at 60%, right? So you're going to incur your deductible first, which is $50. And then the plan will pay 60% of what's left, and then you'll pay the remaining 40%. Does that work? That make sense for you?
Well, hold on a minute. So if I'm a family of four,
Mhm.
it's just $100.
Mhm.
How do you figure out the deductible when you have four different people
Mhm. Right.
on a plan?
Oh, yeah. So we're monitoring claims at all times. All times. So we can actually see that. And the providers will see that as well when they go in. They see your plan, the benefits for your plan. And as soon as deductible is met, they know. Yep. It's not something you have to say, oh, well, we met our deductible. We'll know whether your deductible is no once the claim comes in. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's seamless for you. Good question. Good question. Okay, so we always like to stress the importance of preventive care. So we always encourage our members to get your annual exams, get your cleanings, because as you all may know, that your dental health is definitely closely connected to your overall medical health, right? So when you have those cleanings and other things done, it cuts the risk of these certain medical conditions here. Like your heart disease, like you can lower your risk of stroke, helps to control your blood sugar. It even helps in the case of pregnancies, or preventing early deliveries, and also rheumatoid arthritis. So we always want to stress the need and urgency for, just making sure you take advantage of those preventive care benefits, because it helps with that overall medical health, and it can help keep your costs, your out-of-pocket costs down. Because if you're looking, if you're actually, taking advantage of your preventive benefits, then lots of times you can, catch things or medical issues at the beginning where they don't become chronic or serious. So we always encourage our members to please take care, of your routine dental care. Take advantage of those routine dental benefits that you have, those preventive benefits. Okay, next slide. All right, so we talked about orthodontia. No doubt many of you have heard of some of those providers listed here: Bite, Candid, Smile Direct Club. Just know that you do have coverage for those. Because you have a PPO plan, you do have coverage for those providers. And the way that will work is that your benefit plan will pay whatever the cost is towards your regular metal braces, those costs. So that's the benefit that we would pay for those particular providers. And then the difference would be the member's responsibility. So you can use those providers with the plan that you have. And they are, a lot of people like to use them because they're in lieu of regular braces. They have the, and what do they call, the invisible liners and things like that. And I'm sorry, this is popping up on my screen. And things like that. So a lot of people who don't have, I would say, like serious orthodontia needs, they can actually take advantage of programs like this. And, your benefit plan does cover them. Yep, so next slide, thank you. Okay, so as a member, once you become an Aetna member, those of you who are already an Aetna member, know that the plan comes with different tools and resources. You can move to the next slide. And one of those is our Aetna member website, or the Aetna Health App, right? So what this is a member website. It's inclusive of your benefits only, and anyone that's under your plan, right? Once you log in, you can actually manage your claims. You'll see where your claims, what your out-of-pocket cost is, what Aetna paid, where you are in meeting deductible, things like that. You can also search for providers Under that website, you can, let's say you have an upcoming dental procedure and you want to get an estimate on the cost. There's a tool on that website that you can use to get a cost estimate for an upcoming procedure. You know, in this industry, we don't send out plastic ID cards anymore, and that's not just Aetna, that's across the board. That's just an industry standard because it's not necessary. But if you actually want an ID card on this website, you can actually print off a paper copy of an ID card. If you download our app, you can also pull up a copy of your card on your phone, and I'll go to that slide in a minute. But I find this actually, the member website is what I like to call, it's like the portal to a lot of the other benefits and things that come along with your plan. So like we talked about the member cost estimate, the cost estimate tool. Also, along with your plan, you get a lot of discounts, right? So the way to access that information is also through this Aetna member website. So on the member website, you can view the claims for everyone that's on your plan. You can look at the benefits. You can see where you are at meeting deductibles, your out-of-pocket costs. Excuse me. You can access a copy of your ID card. And again, just get an overall, just look at your health summary and just, manage your claims and things of that nature. Again, you can also access the other programs and things that come along with your Aetna plan as well. And the way you get to this member website is just to go to Aetna.com. You click register now. It will ask you a series of questions, right? Your personal questions. So that way it's identifying you. And then you create your own username and password, and it will bring up all the information under your plan. So great resource there. Next slide, please. So yeah, so again, this is I'm talking more about the Aetna Health App that I talked about. It essentially works just like the Aetna member website, and you can download it from any of your phone, your Android or your iPhone. You would just go to your Google Store or Play Store, what have you, and just access the Aetna Health App and just download it, and there it is. So it works essentially just like the Aetna member website. Very convenient, very convenient. All right, next slide. So I talked about discounts, right? We talked about the Aetna member website. We talked about the Aetna Health App, right? Both of those are the portals to the other programs and things that I said that come along with your Aetna member plan. And one of them is the discounts that come along with your plan. So as an Aetna member, you get discounts towards a whole plethora of different things. Some of them are just listed here, just to name a few. There's discounts to fitness facilities, natural products and services, oral products, weight management programs such as a Jenny Craig Nutrisystem, vision products, at-home products, electronics, rental cars, movie tickets, all kinds of stuff. So the way to access that is through that Aetna member website, and you'll see the link for discounts, and you'll click on that and it'll bring up all of that information for you. Next slide. So that concludes my presentation. Are there any questions out there for me?
Thank you, Vera. We do have some questions in the chat.
Okay.
One question was, and I'm not clear on this, is there a way to estimate before becoming a member?
What are we estimating? A cost of a procedure, or what is it that I need a little more detail.
So you were showing on the that there was the website that you could log in and you can estimate how much a procedure would cost. Like for
Okay.
me,
Yeah.
for me, the Orthodontia. I'm
Gotcha.
not a member.
Mhm.
I am. This is my 23rd year in the county, but my first year is full times, and we're trying to decide between my dental and my husband's dental. So we're just, it's really hard when you have all the websites and such to go to, but you can't figure anything out because you don't actually have a number.
You don't have access, right? So you can actually, you're trying to estimate what the cost is going to be for braces or something of that nature. Is that that's what the question is?
Yes, we're looking at braces, we're looking at retainers, we're looking at all,
Sure.
all sorts of different things
Okay.
for multiple family members.
Gotcha. So my advice there would be if you have a certain provider that you're interested in using, because sometimes demographics play a part in costs, right? So they can give you a roundabout figure, and because this is co-insurance, you can you can actually just give them a call, and they would tell you, hey, it's this much, and then you can look at the benefits and say, okay, Aetna's going to pay this much, and this is what my out-of-pocket cost is going to be. Because before you don't have access to that tool until you become a member, but you can certainly reach out to the providers. They can give you an estimate, and then you can do the calculations based upon the benefits on the plan. Like, that Orthodontia is paid at 50%, and we up to $3,000. So it wouldn't be too difficult to figure that out. I mean, I'm guessing that maybe you do already have a provider that you're comfortable with, and you can, and I'm sure they would, wouldn't mind sharing estimates with you or costs with you.
Okay, thank you.
I hope that helps. Yeah.
And there's another question in the chat before we get to the hand raise there. The second question, do you pay for adult fluoride treatments?
Yes, we do. Yep.
Thank you. And then the Wade Garris, you have your hand up. Do you have a question?
Yes. My question is, when you were mentioning like the Invisaligns and all like that, so you can't get that done can you get that done at your dentist's office, the Invisalign, or do you have to go to one of those places?
No, you can go to any provider that does it. If they're right, yeah. So yeah, we would just pay, the benefit is, just paid based on what we would pay for your regular braces, like your regular braces. Yep.
Oh, that's considered braces, not orthodontia.
That's what it is. Yeah, it falls under the orthodontia benefit. Yeah. And just keeping in mind that you have a $3,000 max, but it pays 50% up to $3,000. And then anything outside of that would be members' responsibility.
Well, okay, I don't quite. So say for instance, the braces cost $3,000. Would they pay $3,000?
No, ma'am. They're going to pay 50% up to $3,000. Yeah. So it's going to be 50% of that.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
Good question, though. Good question. Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, because that's a question that a lot of people get stumped on. They say, oh, I thought the plan paid, 50%, but it pays 50% of the cost up to the $3,000 is the max. So, yep.
Yep, good questions. Thank you. And there's another question in the chat. Aetna covers $3,000 max for each family member, or is it only $3,000 max per family?
Good question again. So yeah, so we talked about that. Yes, it's per member on the plan, per member. And always remember that is a lifetime max. So once it's been that maximum has been exhausted, then that's it for the lifetime, the life of the plan, for the entirety of the plan. So once you've exhausted that 3,000 and you decide maybe 10 years later, you want to get braces again, and you're still under this plan, it would be your full responsibility because you've exhausted that orthodontia benefit.
Great, thank you. But yes, it is $3,000 per family member, like
Yes.
Miss Vera said. Yep. So again, very generous benefit. And I also.
Hello, I think we lost you, James.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I put the link to the Aetna Dental webpage in the chat. So that's on the PGCPS benefit webpage, and there's a link there to the Aetna.com as well. And also want to remind everyone that open enrollment is open now, and it's open through October 26th. So certainly if you're not currently enrolled in the Aetna Dental plan, you certainly have another, a little over a week and a half to do some more research. and you can use the benefits webpage there. I posted in the link to get a lot of the details, and also has multiple links to some of the other benefits that Aetna provides. So feel free to kind of do your research. And hopefully, if you make your decision, you need to make it by October 26th if you want to enroll for the Aetna Dental Plan. And again, remember, anything that you do during open enrollment, coverage becomes effective 1/1/2023.
And I just like to add one other thing. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I really appreciate you. Those who are current Aetna members, thank you for staying with us. And those of you who are new, welcome to Aetna.
All right, I need to sign up. I have no dental coverage right now. I was under my husband's plan. So to sign up through the county, do I go through another link or do I use this one you just posted?
Great question. Ms. Harris, you would use Oracle Employee Self-Service. So that's where benefits enrollment happens. So you would need to log into Oracle Self-Service with your username and password. And that will, once you log into self-service, you'll see a little tab that says benefits. And you will click on that benefits link, and it'll ask you that you accept the terms and conditions of open enrollment, and you say yes. And then it'll take you to a couple pages. You'll get to your current benefits, and then there'll be a little link that says update benefits. Click on that little button, and it'll have all the benefits there: medical, dental, vision, prescription, supplemental life insurance, long-term disability insurance, and you would just kind of go down the list. And if there's something that you don't want, you would just check the box that says no coverage. And then if you want the Aetna dental plan, you're going to click on under Aetna, if you want employee only, employee plus one, or family coverage. And it would also, in Oracle, once you complete all that, it would also give you the rates, how much it would cost per paycheck for you. So you'll see that as well as you're going through the open enrollment process in Oracle.
So is this written down somewhere? Because you said a whole lot.
Yes, it is. So you should have got, hopefully everyone got an email that says open enrollment is happening. It was from the communications office. And it had a link to the open enrollment webpage, which has all the instructions. I just posted the link to Oracle self-service in the chat. And then if you can just go to any of the links I posted in the chat, or you just go to pgcps.org and search benefits, and that'll get you to the open enrollment webpage. And then that webpage, the open enrollment webpage, will have instructions on how to use Oracle Employee Self-Service. And I'm going to post the link to the open enrollment webpage now. So you can just look, it's just a PDF, and you can open up those instructions for Oracle Self-Service, and it'll take you step by step on how to go in and make any changes to your benefits. And if you run into any problems, you can always call the benefits office or email us. Again, the phone number and the email address is on the web pages I just shared. And someone can assist you, can kind of walk you through it over the phone. If you need that kind of help, we're happy to do that. So yeah, and you can do this from your home computer too. You don't have to be at work. During open enrollment, we lift those restrictions. So if you're logged into your home computer, it'll say Oracle Self-Service Limited, and you can click on that limited option, and it'll allow you to enroll in benefits while at your home computer. So you don't have to be at your work computer to make any changes during open enrollment. Once open enrollment is over, they close that off. So you'd have to be at your work computer to access your benefit information in Oracle.
So how long does this process typically take to enroll? I mean, is it something that I can do right now?
Yes, it literally, well, not while we're on this call, but it literally would take you about 10 minutes once you log into Oracle Self-Service, if that. Depends on what you're signing up for. There's a lot of different options: medical, dental, vision, prescription. There's supplemental life. There's flexible spending accounts. But if you know going in, you're only going to enroll in the dental plan, it would probably take you about 10 minutes.
All right, so that's what I know that I'm doing. I'm just looking at the information you provided, and it took me to something that says benefits contracts, beneficiary information. Should I be seeing that?
Yes, that's your contacts and beneficiaries. So I don't know if you've ever added any beneficiaries for your board-sponsored life insurance. Everyone has Yep. So you can just click next and go to the next page. Again, we can't stay on this call and I can't walk you through this process right now because I have another meeting coming up, but certainly once you get in there, you should be able to see everything. It's pretty easy to check the boxes for the benefits that you're interested in, and you should be all set. And again, if you feel like you have make any mistakes or need help, you can always reach out to the benefits office during regular business hours between 8 and 4:30 Monday through Friday, and someone will assist you.
Is that number available? So I know who to call. The benefits office?
It's on the webpage, yep. But I can put it in the chat real quick,
Okay.
and you can take it down real quick. But again, you just have to make sure you call during regular business hours between 8 and 4:30 Monday through Friday, and someone can certainly help you.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I have a question. When you go to your, like say if you go to your dental provider and you get an estimate, they give you like a little summary of what your pay would be. And then they always tell you to call your provider to get an estimate. Who do I go by? Because do I go by the provider or do I go by what Aetna is telling me?
Okay, so good question. So for everyone that's listening, I always encourage, if you're having any major work done,
Yes.
What Miss Thomas is referring to is what we call a predetermination, right? So it's something that your dentist does. They do it. Sometimes they share it with you, the member, sometimes not, but they always do it, and it's sent over, to Aetna, right? So your dentist should share that with you, your provider should share that with you. However, in your case, Ms. Thomas, if they're sharing that with you, then you in turn, and if you've spoken with Aetna, Aetna is going to let you know what your out-of-pocket costs will be. So we are the ones processing your claim. So we definitely will, I would say 99.9% we're going to be the ones that give you the accurate information. Sometimes when the doctor does the predetermination, that's an overall, an overall picture of what, what procedures he's going to be doing. Sometimes they do additional things that, they might not be aware of that's needed at that point in time, or they, something that they didn't share with you. Sometimes there's something else that may be needed. So just keep in mind, when you're, keep in mind those things do happen. And, just always for everyone on the line, just always, before you pay anything, make sure you're reviewing it. Make sure it's what you discuss with the provider. Have a discussion with the provider if you don't agree with something that's on there. And then in turn, if you're not getting satisfaction that way, then give us a call.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, I think that's a great question. And I always encourage my members, make sure you have that predetermination done, have a consultation with your provider before you have any major work done.
Is that something that they can fax over, or do they have to mail it out, the predetermination?
It's up to the provider. Either
Okay.
way. Yeah, they can do it either way. You can just, if they, you're asking if they can mail it or fax it to you or
Right.
to us.
No. I'm asking, because they usually
yeah.
tell me
Yes.
they mail it out. I
was going to say, yeah, each provider, operates a little differently. Yeah. So it's up to them. Yep.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
May I ask a question?
Absolutely.
So you had mentioned that Invisalign and Bite and all those are covered, but on page 13 of the benefit plan on the PG County website, it says orthodontic treatment rule, the plan does not cover the following, and one of them is removable acrylic aligners.
Right. So this, I will tell you, this is new. I mean, they just became Aetna providers recently, so that may be just an update that we have to make. Yep.
Okay, so is Invisalign also covered?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the other thing is, I'm just trying to figure out, what does retreatment of orthodontic cases mean?
Retreatment of orthodontic cases. So so that means that if you had orthodontia, like braces or things previously, and you are having for some reason, like I said, like I think I used the example I mentioned, maybe 10 years later, 5 years later, you may want to have something done again, or something you need to have it done again.
So that would not be covered then?
That's correct. If you have exhausted the orthodontia benefit, it would not be covered.
Okay, so if I had gotten it done under a different provider, then that's not the same thing?
If you got it done under a different provider and you were still under this plan, that means you still have exhausted.
No, I know, I mean a different plan. So,
Yeah.
okay, I had braces when I was in middle school. I am now,
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm now almost 50.
Yeah.
It's totally, I just would, my dentist
No.
is recommending I get Invisalign. So I'm just trying to figure out, would that be retreatment 34 or 5 years later?
Sure. No. Listen, I totally get what you're saying because I had it done not so long ago, right? I'm not going to tell my age, but we're kind of in the same boat, right? So no. So different plan, yes, the coverage is there. If you haven't used the orthodontia benefits, definitely you
Okay, so it's not
yes.
retreatment because I haven't used Aetna specifically.
No.
Okay,
if you were under, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Good question.
Thank you.
Good question.
And I realize,
yes.
I mean, like I said, it's in 35 years, but still, it's, I don't want to go forward with it. And they're like, oh, no, you're not covered. So, okay, great. Thank you.
No. Good question. Great question.
Great. Okay, great. Yes, very good questions. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate those questions. So just real quick, any other questions before we end the meeting? All right. Well, again, thank you everyone for attending. We are recording this session. We will post the recording on the link that you used to log in about 48 hours. So certainly you can watch this again if you missed something. And again, thanks everyone for attending. And our next educational information session will be next Tuesday. When it comes to, we'll pick back up next Tuesday with some of our vendors. So feel free to log back on next week and have a great evening and a great weekend. Thanks so much.
Thank you, everyone.